you, dear students? Our lesson today about measure length using different metric units. Let's start.
The essential understanding for this lesson is, when measuring length, the longer the chosen unit, the fewer units are needed. The shorter the unit, the more units are needed. Previously, students used customary units to explore the inverse relationship between the length of a unit and the number of units needed to measure an object's length. In this lesson, students extend that concept to the metric system, as they measure the same object using meters and using centimeters. This problem is key because it asks students to measure the length of an object using different metric units, meters and centimeters, and then circle the unit they need fewer of. Listen and look for students who confuse centimeters with meters as they measure, or who make statements such as, "Centimeters are longer than meters, so I need fewer centimeters." Have these students look at a centimeter ruler and a meter stick to review the difference between centimeters and meters. The distance between each pair of numbers on a centimeter ruler and on a meter stick is 1 centimeter. The entire length of a meter stick is 1 meter. It is also 100 centimeters long, so a meter is much longer than a centimeter. Listen and look for other students who correctly measure the bulletin board's length twice, once in meters and then in centimeters. These students also recognize that they need fewer meters than centimeters. Listen for some of these students to point out that, because meters are longer than centimeters, they need fewer meters. These students understand that when measuring an object's length, fewer longer units are needed than shorter units. As students measure an object's length using different metric units, they are reinforcing their understanding of the concept that a unit's size has an inverse relationship with the number of units needed.
So after this video, now we can solve this question here. This object is about how many meters and how many centimeters, and is it fewer centimeters or fewer meters? If you think, you'll find it's about 1 meter here, and it's about 97 centimeters. So which number is fewer than the other? It's 1 meter. So fewer meters here is our answer. So it's about 1 meter and about 96 centimeters. So it's fewer meters. Another question. This door, we want to measure its length. It's about how many meters and about how many centimeters. And which one you will choose here? Fewer centimeters or fewer meters. If you measure it by a meter stick or any tool, you will find it's about 2 meters and about 197 centimeters. So which number is less than the other? It's meters. So we will put a circle here on fewer meters. Another video.
You can use different units to measure the lengths of objects. Would you use more centimeters or more meters to measure the length of the teacher's desk? Think about this question during the lesson. Let's measure the desk using centimeters. The desk is about 91 centimeters long. Now let's measure the desk using meters. Is the desk more than 1 meter or less than 1 meter long?
Select your answer.
So you can see it at less than 1 meter, so I'll choose it.
It is less than 1 meter long because the meter stick is over the end. The desk is about 1 meter long. Why do we say that the desk is about 1 meter long?
You can see here that's meter stick, which equal 1 meter. 1 meter. So we have your space. So this table is less than 1 meter. We have here extra length. So
We say it is about 1 meter long because it is closer to 1 meter than it is to 2 meters. What rule can we make about measuring with two different size units? The smaller the unit, the more of them you will have to use to measure the same object. You used more centimeters than meters because a centimeter is a much smaller unit than a meter. When does it make sense to measure the desk using centimeters instead of meters? It makes sense to measure the desk in centimeters when you want a more exact answer. Now you know what happens when you measure the length of an object using different units.
So let's answer another question. Here Jay measured the height of his bedroom in both centimeters and meters. Did he use viewer centimeters or viewer meters? Our answer here, he used viewer meters. Why? Because a meter is a larger unit than a centimeter, and a centimeter is a shorter unit than a meter. Another question. If you had to measure the length of the hallway outside your classroom, would you use centimeters or meters? Yes, it's meters. Why? Let's find the answer. Because the hallway is very long, and a meter is a longer unit. It's easy to use meters than centimeters. Another question here, number 7. A meter stick is about 39 inches long. Is a meter longer or shorter than a yard? You know before, yard equal 36 inches. 1 yard equal 36 inches. And 1 meter equal 39 inches. So 39 more than 36. So our answer would be a meter is longer than a yard. Another question. Number 8 here. He wants to estimate the length of a baseball bat in centimeters and meters. So if you want to measure it, you will find here it's about 1 meter and about 97 or 96 centimeters. There's another question here, which number must be greater? We said before, smaller unit has a greater number. So the number of centimeters must be greater because a centimeter is a smaller unit than a meter. Number 9, Tina measures the length of a jump rope using a different units. How will her measurements compare? That's a jump rope, and we want to choose yes or no. More meters than centimeters. More meters than centimeters. So it's no. Why? Because centimeters is more than meters. The number of centimeters is more than meters because centimeter is a smaller unit. Number 2, more centimeters than inches. Yes. Why? Because inches is more than centimeters. Inches is more than or is centimeter is shorter than or smaller than unit than inches. More inches than feet. So we will choose here yes. And more yards than feet. It's no, because feet is smaller unit than yards. Okay, thanks dear students.